Luca Nation, episode 696 of Luca's Tigers and Bronze. I got a new setup for you guys. You said there wasn't enough lighting. Now I feel there's a bit too much lighting. So we got that. We're recording late in the evening. Basically, I've been on the phone nonstop the last 2 days, either getting people to send us inventory for our consignment show, getting people to send us memorabilia for our consignment show, or buying my own cards for the show. And all three have been equally a blast. And what's cool, Cage, is I bought probably 28, 29 cards in the PWCC weekly auction this Sunday. Every single card 100 or less, and it might have been my most fun buying and shopping experience in a long time. Spent $900, $980 and a little on buyer's premium. Literally, it was a blast.
I bought for one card, and I showed it to you. You showed me the card. It was like a video, and I said, "These are awesome. It's great. You got some great stuff." I send you the one card, and you go, "Who is this, and why did you buy it?"
Yes. And then I learned it was your childhood buddy. You went to high school with him.
Wild
he made
fire,
it to
salty.
the New Angeles Mets, part of the ABA. He had like a guest role in Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell, and they made a card about him. And Cage bought it. It was kind of incredible.
Oh, dude. The old jokes, they never get old. They never get old. Speaking of, happy Pride Month to you. So, we're having some fun, man. June Pride Month. June, not Juneteenth.
Juneteenth is a holiday?
Of course. I'm off. My company is off. Day off that day.
I think that's right. I think that's how it should be.
It's good stuff. It's a lot of fun. All right. I don't want to fall out of my chair today. Some of the screws are loose over here. People tell me that all the time. I got some screws loose. It is what it is.
What does screws loose, Cage? What is he doing to get ready? So sell in May, go away. We have, a summer of national. People are going to be buying cards, but still a lot of uncertainty in the economy. You are a contrarian investor, as contrarian as they get.
As contrarian as they get. Yep.
We're in a little bit of a lull for sports. In terms of sport I love is NBA. So
it's difficult, right? Somebody might ask me, hey, Cage, basketball playoffs provided some fodder for you. You went after Ja Morant and told people not to buy Ja Morant cards because, his prices were high and it wasn't likely that he was going to make the finals, and his prices were priced, his cards were priced for perfection. And then I made an interesting post about Luka, having an empty hand because he was holding the invisible trophy that he got for making the Western Conference Finals.
That's right.
And people gave me a little hate about that, and now I've made a post. Obviously, I don't have to post about Giannis. I mean, I kind of did. Hey, don't give him that ring just yet, where Horford was blocking his, but now I'm a Celtics hater, even though I was, making fun of Giannis at the time. But now I say Tatum job's not finished. So what am I going to do in a week? I also, by the way, equal opportunity hater, I also said to sell you Golden State Warriors cards because I thought the matchups only got harder for them. How wrong I was, because they didn't have to play the Suns.
What do you think about this matchup?
and they didn't have to play the Bucks. When I said that, I assumed they were going to have to play the Suns and go through a 7-game series with the Suns and Chris Paul and Ayton and Devin Booker actually showing up and that being a much better matchup for the Suns, by the way. And then I thought they'd have to hit Giannis and have no answer for the big man. So instead, they get, Tay, and, Jaylen Brown. And, I mean...
Do you know what revisionist history is, Cage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Amazing. It's basically, in hindsight, everything seems so obvious, is how I understand it. Is that fair?
Revisionist history is somebody who, changes history. Revision means to change. It's not like hindsight is 20/20. It's like, hey, you go back and change it.
Okay, so then I'll use the definition. There are times in life when you look back and things are so obvious, but as you're living through them, they're not. But let me ask you, who's had the best record in the NBA since January 1st?
The Celtics. Yeah, because they were pretty terrible, and then they went. Then they finished the 2 seed.
Who has the top 3 defense in the league? Celtics. Who has the top 5 offense in the league? Celtics. Who almost since January 1st has grown and got better odds with Vegas? Celtics. And my interesting thing today, I had a realization. I was like, have they just been really good for a long time since January, and we just haven't realized it? Because I never thought of them as NBA I didn't think that they would get to this spot. And now, the more I dig into this, they're actually favored versus the Warriors, and I would think the Warriors would be a heavy favorite in the series. And it's interesting to me, because I didn't rate this team as high as I think the books and Vegas and all of them have rated them.
Vegas doesn't matter. We've made this very clear to me. But you're right. In our shows in February, you talked about Cliff Kingsbury's, cousin Cliff Goldsberry, and we talked about 538. We talked about the Vegas lines, and we talked about how certain houses already had the Celtics after they'd won 8 games in a row and started to turn around. But they were like fringe playoff team at the time. They weren't the 2 seed, right? They were going to crack into the top 8, maybe, play-in game after they went on that little bit of a run. And some houses said that they were going to win the championship. Like analytics were saying that this is a championship team because they were well-rounded. They were, top in defense, top in offense, and they just weren't really weak anywhere. They had veteran leadership. They had, tall guard play, but shooting guard play. They had the scrappy defense. Like they do have it all. That said, I think they kind of still stayed under the radar because of the parity we talked about, as did the Warriors. Right? I mean, you love the Warriors at the beginning of the season, but even during the year, I mean, they were not the 1 seed, right? They were not, they were not the Grizzlies. They were not the 2 seed. They were not. I mean, they were teams that just stepped out.
3
right?
seed.
Right. They were a 3 seed, right? And the Warriors were a 3 seed, and now it's like, oh wow, they should be a huge favorite. Well, the Celtics ended a 2 seed, but they were 2 seed under the radar. And look, they broke the spirit of the veterans, the Nets. Right, because it was just basically Durant carrying a bunch of stiffs, and once those first couple of games got decided on, like real close. Remember the first game, Tatum. Give Tatum his due. I know I'm a Tatum hater, but Tatum had that layup at the last second and basically stole a win from what was a loss, and that was it for that series, I believe. I think that the Nets were just like, all right, what the hell with it, like that's just, and they just a couple close games and then just done. But after that. We want to talk about being pushed to the limit. It's not like, they were the number 3 team. They were the number 5 team. They had the favorites. Like, it's not that this has been a walk for them. It hasn't, right? They've been pushed to the limit each time. And that shows the parity that we've talked about. Lots of game 7s, lots of blowouts, but blowouts by both teams, which is also weird.
How good are they, right? Like, I guess, and I do think this championship has implications. Like, I'm curious what it does to Curry's legacy if he doesn't win. And then he doesn't win, and he doesn't have a Finals MVP, right? So there's going to be a lot of narratives coming out.
Hanzo Havlicek has 1 Finals MVP.
Does he really?
Yeah, not 6 like Jordan, but he has 1. I mean, in 8 championships, you're bound to get 1 Finals MVP. Curry doesn't have any. Hondo,
they gave it to Durant. Durant's now arguing with Draymond. Who
saw my
double
tweets?
Teamed more? No, who was it? Your tweets? I think it was Durant.
I was retweeting those guys. This is probably why it came up on your timeline. But yeah, it was the 2 of them going back and forth. Like Dre was saying, don't because KD commented and he was like, don't fall for it. You gotta listen to the whole thing, champ. You're taking it out of context. And KD was like, no, I heard the whole thing, brethren. I heard the whole thing, but you were wrong about the double teams. Like you were wrong about it. Like the back and forth.
That was
back and forth.
But here's how I read it. Like Draymond was in a podcast talking about how Curry got double teamed more than Durant. Right?
Yeah.
That's not discrediting Durant. And
Not
Durant had to go to Twitter to defend that he's more valuable to the Warriors team because he got double teamed more.
They ran a fantastic pick and roll.
I just heard that in my head. That was weird.
Yeah.
But, okay,
look, they ran a fantastic pick and roll, and it worked so well with Curry and Durant because they're both shooters, right? So what wound up happening is Curry had the ball outside, and the double team would come over, and KD would flash to the basket and score. It happened a lot.
Why did it matter to Durant? Like it's so petty to go to Twitter when Draymond in an interview was talking about.
Why does it matter? Because there's a podcast. And Draymond's talking about it while entering the NBA championships without KD. And KD,
not taking a shot at KD. It's hey, Curry got double teamed more.
Because all day today, the stats are out there on every page. What did it look like when Steph played without KD versus when the Golden State Warriors, KD played without Steph? And I saw it was like a post today. It was like when KD played without Steph on the Warriors, they won like 52% of their games. But when Steph played without KD, they won like 70% of their games. And basically, he's seeing this. He's seeing the Clippers. He's seeing the storytelling about how Steph was the better player, which I think is wrong. You've heard the people talking about it. I mean, Stephen A. Smith was talking about it with Kendrick Perkins. It's so this is the talk now. And even you talking about like what does it do to the legacy? People want Curry to win that MVP because one of the things people say is that he won those championships, but not the Finals MVP. It was Durant who won it those 2 times, the two recent ones, right?
So as Curry's going to the finals, and there's just people on Twitter accounts posting how Curry has had more success without Durant. The number one spokesperson in support of this has to be Durant.
No, but this is social media.
No, dude, I think, honestly, it's one of the cheesiest things I've ever seen. Like, dude, everyone knows how great you are, Katie. You don't need to be like your own cheerleader of like, hey, Curry actually got double teamed less than me when I was there for those 2 seasons. Like, it's why
right,
are
well,
you
listen, kick him while he's down, man. KD's cards prices are getting beaten up.
Yeah, I'm sure KD's checking his card prices.
It's your fault
I'm sure
because you're beating him up on this show. It's all your fault. Blame Andrew. Andrew's a hater. Give him the DMs that I've been getting this week.
Stay with me, though.
Where's the KD love?
I lost a lot of respect for him because you played on this team for 2 years. You, as a free agent, chose to go to Brooklyn. This team welcomed you in, and it's not like they ever did anything to KD. So here you are competing with Curry, who got more double teams, as opposed to, yo, dude, we had a good run. At least be happy for this team. They never did anything to KD. If anything, they gave KD even more of a legacy because now he's a champion.
Right.
That's where it got corny for me.
Well, he would turn around and say they didn't give him anything. He won those championships. He went out and he took them. And that's the crux of the argument. They didn't give him anything. And that's what he's trying to say.
They were a 73-9 team before that. He was an incredible player.
I agree with you. But look what you just said. Right? KD, you're great. You're the best. You don't have to defend. We all know how great you are. We know how awesome you are. They were 73-9, and they gave you a championship. That's why he's defending.
So this is where it's good, Cage, because this is something I catch myself on. Both things could be true. KD could be great, and they could have been an amazing team without him, and Steph is incredible.
That's not what you said. You said they gave him a championship. So it's not a both. It's not.
No, it is a both, and I don't know if you're trying to catch me on words, but that's
and no, I'm not trying to catch you. After, in his brain, he wouldn't agree with you saying that they gave him a championship. He would say he gave them a championship.
No, they won a championship as a team, and Steph is a part of that team, and you should be happy as opposed to go to social media to defend your legacy as like a.
I agree with you, but as far as what he does on Twitter, that's fine. Yes, he should have 47 burner accounts.
Who you really are.
He should have other accounts do it. He should have a whole team. He's got a ton of people around him. They should be defending with stats and the whole nine. And yes, I understand it. If I can give Tatum a hard time for tweeting Kobe, for messaging Kobe, you can give KD a hard time for just tweeting this kind of stuff. It's fine. I'm with you. I think the point here is,
well, you say I care how these players call their mom or talk about
I think he's missing out. I think he feels left out.
Okay, and once again, this is the stuff I look at when investigating a player. I'm like, dude, the guy's 30 years old. He's like a child.
Okay, look, I will not disagree with that. All right, I will not disagree with that at all. Right? I mean, KD,
he's left out. You left the team as a free agent.
We've talked about what goes into people's legacy. What are we
talking about?
And KD, so you don't like how he defended himself on Twitter? Okay, I'm just trying to tell you why.
I don't understand the need. Your greatness speaks for itself, not your greatness plus your tweet about how you got double teamed more than Curry.
I think you're
you're better than Curry. You're right.
I think you're fantastic. I think your greatness speaks for itself. But every once in a while, card porn calls you out, and you go after him in your comments. And I know you think you're not the KD of podcasting, but I think you're even better than the KD of podcasting. I think your greatness speaks for itself. Why are you cheapening yourself and going back and forth in the comments? You shouldn't do that. It ruins your legacy. You're 30 years old. You're a baby.
Oh. So this is cool. No,
stay with me. Okay.
No, Luca Nation. This is a preview of what Cage does for the last 2 years. So if you guys see personal growth or I'm improving, it's actually these mental exercises he puts me through as a lawyer to think on a fly. Sometimes it's like my brain short circuits, but he's been trained.
We had an episode. Andrew's brain is in a pretzel. Remember that one?
He's Liam Neeson of words, I guess, so to speak.
Special set of skills.
Why do I comment with card porn in the comments?
Yeah, you're KD. He's just somebody who's out there saying that, you don't get double teamed as much as Gio and Jesse. I don't know. Like when you play basketball with Tyler got more double teams than you. And you're like, no, watch the video. No,
you don't even watch the games.
I was all up in Gary V's face. I was playing defense, man. That's why I got fired. I didn't let him score a bucket on me once.
There's a lot of truth to that. There was a lot. I think back to that day. I don't know what I was on. I talked more trash than I normally do at an event that I should have talked no trash at. Like, you get invited on 4th of July to go play your boss's house of basketball and just talk shit. I'm an idiot. I don't understand what happened. That was weird. That was a weird day. I hope the people that were in attendance could speak to it one day.
Okay, so what's the lesson learned for our audience? That it's not that sometimes you take the L to keep your job, or that you're happy you've never compromised your values and yourself, that even when you go on the 4th of July weekend to your boss's house, you're going to talk that ish to make sure you win the game and get fired from your job.
You can't have it both ways. You got to have personal responsibility. In my scenario, if you want to live by the sword, you got to die by the sword. If you're going to be yourself and be abrasive and obnoxious and you get fired, you got to live and reap the results. If you're KD and you walk as a free agent and you go to a team and you don't make the finals, you don't run your mouth on social media about how you got double teamed more than Steph. You lick your chops. You go and you get back to work and you come back next year and you prove how good you really are.
I'm glad we wound up comparing you to KD here, because we could have went with LeBron, but you clearly make your teammates better. So what else would you like to talk about?
I almost got canceled for that post. Remember that one? Gavin was cooking up a storm. He was like, what time are these guys doing an episode? 4:30. I'm going to post this at 40:36.
It was great. Oh, he doesn't make his teammates better. And you're sticking to it. And he never got better. He was the same player he was in high school. Remember that?
I'm impressed with Bronny. I'm very impressed. Bronny's getting better and better. If you guys watch some of his game tape, he's looking pretty good. I don't know how you evaluate a high school player. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know how much they're going to grow, how much more athletic they're going to be. But Bronny's looking real good.
All right. I mean, listen, LeBron's going to stay around long enough, and it's going to add another chapter to his career. Just like Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr., although, to put that on Bronny would be tough.
What are you buying Ian this Friday to rip?
WWE Revolution comes out on Friday.
Okay.
So we will rip a box of that. I have a box of Bowman University basketball, which has Mikey in it.
That's sick.
Yeah,
Mikey's not in university.
Oh, my God. Did you hear
Whoa!
that? Did you hear that?
We saw it. We saw it. Looked like someone took a
cow. Oh, my God. You guys okay out there? No, what happened? That was scary? Okay, just sit there.
I'm going to cry.
You don't have to cry. It's just lightning, but I think it might have struck our house. That was insane.
Did lightning and thunder hit at the same time?
Okay, thunder, and you know the difference between thunder and lightning, right?
In seconds, how much the depth is between those two is how many miles apart they are, or how far away it is from your house. Yeah, dude, I love storms. I'm going to storm chase. Dude, for sure, I'm going to storm chase through Oklahoma, Kansas when there's tornadoes one day. Get like one of those huge-ass trucks. I think they're like a few tons. And you could park up, you get sick photos. Because storms have this crazy energy around them. When they move in, it's unbelievable.
Are we Thunder Buddies? Because you're just God's thoughts. Remember that?
Ted, I know that one.
Hey, we found a movie he likes. The Stoned Teddy Bear. Shocking.
Dude, the thing is, Movies are tough. Like I tried to watch Top Gun. It took me 3 different times to not watch all of it because it's just long and there's so many storylines.
You still haven't watched it?
No, I've watched it, but I didn't internalize it because it's so long. A show or a series is awesome. It's like 30 minutes or 40 minutes. That's what today's society is. 40 minutes.
Yeah, but a show is one episode. It doesn't wrap everything up in 40 minutes.
Breaking Bad is more than a show. It's a series.
Yeah, but it continues. So a movie gives you a beginning, a middle, and an end in an hour and a half.
Yes, but I don't know where to cut it.
Episodes. Just watch the whole thing. Don't cut it. An hour and a half.
I can't with my attention span.
This is a problem.
I agree. What do you want us to do?
You have to be able to watch them. Okay, so stop it in the middle. Look at how long the movie is.
It's not like you watch movies either, because you're on your phone the whole time. Everyone's on their phone during movies.
Yes, it's true, but I do watch movies. And Top Gun, you don't have to watch a whole movie. Are you trying to watch this so that you can go watch the second one now?
No, I just want to see what all the fuss about. It's incredible what they do in planes and fighter jets. Like they're flipping and stuff. That's sick.
Yeah, flipping off. He flipped off the MiG. Remember that in the beginning? You saw that.
Cool.
You at least made it for the first 5 minutes of the movie, right?
Yeah, but yes. Okay. That was pretty cool. But he said he was like 1.5 meters away. I think he was just showing off. He was way farther.
It was way closer than that. It's like
1.5 meters.
It's like this. He was like that. Yeah.
No way.
It's not comments. Real. It's a movie. What? We're getting comments.
Getting comments. Austin Matthews is a buy right now. That's your guy. You want to go back to the well with him?
I said it. I said, you were like, what are you buying? I said, Austin Matthews. People were asking me what card today. And I told them Young Guns. Young Guns is the card.
Yeah, that's because you don't get autos. So you won't buy like a top stock.
Oh, you can get autos if you like. I mean, you know, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Young Guns. Just because people stop looking. Once you get eliminated, people stop looking. You know? Tough part about Austin Matthews is so far every year, early boot, early hook. And that team hasn't really done, you know, much in the playoffs. And eventually, he's going to have a McDavid type. I mean, look, McDavid hasn't done anything yet either, but he's going to have a little run like this, you know, where he's good in the playoffs. Although, let me throw a little fun stuff down for you.
Throw a little fun stuff down for me.
Ty Cobb.
Yes.
Ted Williams.
Johnny Hopkins.
There's one other one. I forget who it is. And Mike Trout was 3 of the 4. There's one other older player who, who's in there. These are the WAR leaders. It wasn't Ernie Banks, but they were the WAR leaders. Leaders in WAR, wins above replacement in baseball, who never won a playoff series. Hear that again. Mike Trout's never won a playoff series. Ty Cobb, Ted Williams. They never won a playoff series. That's pretty crazy. You know, Cobb is a legend. You know, Ted Williams is a legend. They never forget about a championship. They never won a series. Now, give these guys a pass, especially Cobb, turn of the century. When the regular season ended, they had a World Series. You know what I mean? So that's tough. It was just the 2 best played a World Series. And then it was then it was like American League National League, because the American League and National League weren't even around. You know, Comiskey, Charlie Comiskey, Kami, who PWCC just had one of his cards, an 1896, 1897 St. Louis Browns N172 just ended this past week. I didn't win it. I wish I did. But a real nice old tobacco card. He played for the St. Louis Browns. He eventually came and became the owner of the White Sox.
Guys,
he started the American League.
Would you even want that card? Like, honestly,
dude, it's amazing. The card, it's baseball history. First of all, he's a good player, not a great player. He's a good player, but then he formed the American League, and then when you had the American National League, then you had League Championship Series and then the World Series. But you didn't have what you have now.
Erroneous.
You have 500.
Erroneous.
No, you have 500 playoff series now, so it's harder now. But yet Trout still has found a way to never win a playoff series. So
we
anyway,
don't know about any of these guys. We've just been told. It's like this guy told this guy about some story about this guy.
Sort of. I mean, listen, there are movies made about these folks, right? And there'll be more movies made. And Kobe's got a documentary, and Derek Jeter's got a documentary, and all.
We got to see Kobe with all of our eyes and senses.
Okay, but not everybody will. you know, and there'll be kids who are born now who will collect cards in 20 years. The next time there's a nice little boom, and people will still buy Kobe because of all the stories that they're told by you or by movies or documentaries, right? I never saw Secretariat run doesn't mean that I don't think it's a great horse, you know, and people tell these stories, right? I mean, we tell
Weird
stories all the
flex. We
time.
know
Right?
that you saw Secretary.
No, I did not. I was probably alive when the horse was still alive, but I didn't. I was not alive when it was running. So no, but dude, you don't like movies. Tommy Lee Jones played Cobb in the movie Cobb. Watch that. Take in an hour and a half. You'll learn about Cobb, and it's not exactly a favorable presentation of him either. He was not a well-liked man when he played. You know, he was one of these spikes up, dirty kind of player. Yeah, and people didn't like him. They tell that
Spikes
story.
up sliding into base.
Yeah,
going for people's shins.
But I think that was kind of like a microcosm for him as a person. He was kind of like a spikes up kind of guy off the field too. So, you know what I mean?
Vivid.
So, yeah. So,
Vivid.
I mean, listen, there's a movie for all of it, man. You know, you want to learn about the Black Sox? Go watch 8 Men Out. I mean, a lot of it's baseball, but baseball has the most history, right? You want to learn about Jackie Moon, Klay Thompson, semi-pro. His historical reference for everything. No, huh?
No, I mean you're right though. Baseball, the American pastime.
Yeah, I mean it's a long game though, and you know people don't seem to love it. But I will. Let's give some credit. The Mets came into June 1st. They were 10.5 games up in their league, in their division. That's nuts. The Mets they're good. Which normally the Mets find a way to lose. This year they're finding a way to win in a difficult division. We'll see what happens. And it's still early, but give the Mets a little credit. 2000, little Subway Series action. You know, you got the best in the American League right now and the best in the National League. Hello, New York. When Boston is in the NBA championship, I'm going to talk about the baseball teams in New York a quarter of the way through the season. And they haven't won anything because I can't talk about Boston. How about you? What do you got for me today?
What do I got?
The lull is almost over. You've hated this week with no basketball, but the lull is over tomorrow.
Well, it's a shift gears, right? I mean, I'm heavy into this consignment. I'm heavy into SGC subs. I'm going to the PO box almost daily for both. I will say I no longer really want to make economic predictions. I want to say probabilities. Mm-hmm. And I'm worried that there will be a second kind of hurdle to this recession September time. I think with summer, people kind of chill out.
Really?
There's less. Yeah, I think there's a second September,
Aquaman.
October, November. What is
Aquaman?
What are you doing?
I don't want to talk about the economy. I want to talk about Johnny Depp. Did you see he won today?
Well, the economy has effect on cards. Yes, I don't know what he won though. I just
he won money. He won money.
Sometimes I watch the short YouTube videos of
he won
that
Fortnite
trial.
boxes.
Of the trial, and it feels like a TV show. Like it didn't feel real. It just felt like they were always acting.
Funny you should say this because I'm sure the TV show is coming very soon. I'm sure of it. I'm sure they're gonna make a TV show out of it. Yeah, it was like must-see TV. My kids were watching. I didn't watch any of it, but I know today a verdict came out and Johnny Depp won, is what I'm being told. Which is, it's interesting. It's fun stuff. Amber Heard did not win as much as Johnny Depp did.
Do you think that kind of stuff is necessary? Like that's like it's like a lightweight distraction from everything that people have been through the last 2 years.
When the market's bad, there's a reason why everyone tuned into this, right? Because they weren't buying apes and punks and Worlds of Women, and they weren't yelling to the moon with their bit crypto, and so they have this. It's a little distraction, and then they get to poke their heads out, test the waters a little, see if LeBron's back to the prices he was last year. And if not, find something else. Maybe the Kardashians are back or something for another season. I don't know.
Is that the flavor of the week? You know how we talk about that in cards? That's just a microcosm of how the world works.
I want to throw, negativity, positivity, whatever it may be. I'm going to start off with negative, but then go a different direction than where you think I'm going to go. The next big challenge for the hobby are the draft classes. And it's not going to hit right now. It's not going to hit this year because the product cycle is so delayed. but we've had a just a plethora of riches from a hobby perspective, from a breaker perspective, from a collector perspective. If you go into, baseball and just go a couple years back, you've gone everything from, Judge to Soto, Acuna, Tatis, Vladdy, Dominguez, Volpe, all these just amazing guys. And those guys haven't even come into the league yet, but, the ones who have, look what they're doing, Bichette.
Right.
We've had this, every product has had, so Jordan Alvarez, every product has had somebody great in it that you can go after and chase. And we've had these great young guys come up and do great
Zion,
things.
Trey
Basketball, Luka, Trey, Zion, Ja, LaMelo, Edwards. Last year, not the high, but a real great draft class from Scotty, to Mobley, to Kate Cunningham, to Jalen Suggs, Jalen Green.
But
Herb
it's a drop
Jones.
off. It is a drop off. It's a significant drop off. There are no stars in that class.
But I would even say that draft is okay, just because while there's no top line, the second tier is significantly better, which is okay for collectors too, for breaking. But the next class, football. Come on now. You went Mahomes and Deshaun to Josh Allen, right?
Mm-hmm.
To Burrow and
Tua.
Herbert and Tua, and then last year's amazing class with Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence and Trey Lance and whoever else. You got Jordan Love the year before. I mean, you got all these guys, right? You got all these great QBs. I even left out Kyler Murray. I mean, there's this so many young guys. The football draft was garbage. It's like defensive ends and linemen and like linebackers. It's not. There's no.
Well, it's
top
the
level
entire
name.
Georgia team. It was basically the entire Georgia team.
Which is fine, and it's great to build a team up, and there's plenty of stars, and everybody built their stuff up. But for boxes, nobody's going to be buying the National Treasure boxes of $5,000. Baseball, football, basketball, same thing, right? Same thing across the board. So,
A very fair point.
What's that mean, right? What's that mean? It means two things. Number one, that prices for future product probably going to go down, and the prices for the good stuff, which is going to be less of to break, will be higher. And I think that's going to cause an issue here. I think that's going to cause something fun with breakers. I think you're going to have a split in breakers. I think you're going to start to see that in the next year. Not immediately, because stuff is so pushed back that we're just getting Prism football now. The next season is going to start. These rookies are going to be there, but you're opening this week Prism football from last year. You haven't seen the other products yet from football. Basketball, you saw this. Flawless came out like the week that it ended. We still haven't even seen Prism, right, for these guys. Who knows when it's going to come out? You'll have the next draft. You'll know the kids. No, so we have a little bit of a delay. So breakers are going to be flush with products from these good classes still, right? But I think what's going to end up happening is sort of we sort of saw this. There were breakers who tried to break into this by going to Target and breaking blasters, right? Not going to be too many of those, right? They're going to be gone because that's real hard money. But the breakers that survive are going to be the better breakers. The breakers who are good at this, who have the money to go and get the better product and pay more for that product. That'll be there. They'll be making money on that because they're going to be charging more for that product, you name it. And then there's going to be the other level, the B-level breakers, who are going to get this other product and not be able to mark it up because nobody's going to want to break it because it's crappier classes. And I think you're going to see sort of this like separation in breaking, where you're going to have basically two classes of breakers, the ones that get the product people actually want to break and the ones that get everything else. So just a prediction. It doesn't mean anything bad for the hobby. Doesn't mean it's going to collapse. Doesn't mean bubbles bursting. But it's just something that, I'm looking forward to seeing how it kind of shakes out, because we've been very lucky with these draft classes. And maybe somebody comes out, maybe in the NBA, like these Thompson twins that OTE is throwing out there. Maybe those guys become absolute studs and people chase their cards. Maybe one of these quarterbacks, Willis, or what's the kid say, Pickett, maybe they become the next big thing and I'm wrong about the product. Very possible also. But interesting stuff.
I was wondering, from what inspiration, what can I take from this Fortnite break earlier that I could learn from? And
for the people who want to know, I want to give
break,
like a background over the Fortnite break. Give it like a 30 second.
You just did. You saw the cards I was breaking, and you had this inspiration, this aha moment. and people could go back and listen to the last 4 or 5 minutes. I think you're spot on. And all it took was just this guy, just to see this little guy. And that gave Cage all the inspiration he needed.
What is that thing? What is that? Like, was that like a gingerbread man? What is that thing?
Cage's Chronicles. Anytime I'm going to save this. I was going to give this away to someone on the show, but instead this is going to be Cage's Chronicles.
That's Andrew the Breaker breaking a ginger man, ginger something. I don't know what that is. Is it a gingerbread woman?
Benini thought that this was a product. I've traded dollar bills for this.
By the way, there are people who love Fortnite. My son was playing it as you did this. He was, he got one of every 3 card correctly. I mean, he
has like 100 slabs. He's trading me all his sports slabs for all the Fortnite boxes I have left.
Really?
Yeah. The first
you know
guy.
Sports. You don't know Fortnite.
No,
the first guy. Beantown?
No, Beantown was the second guy. This guy, Dirty Dan.
Dirty Dan. Dirty Diana. Dirty Dan, man. That took me back. Any Binghamton people who listen to the show, that's why I went to State University of Binghamton, New York. Not a fancy school. I know you listen to me and you think this is Ivy League right here. Hey. But it's not, right? There was next to the Short Line and Greyhound bus stations downtown. You got drunk, 18, 19 years old. 21 years old. And you stumble out of the bar at 2 a.m. There was a diner with like 6 chairs in it. It was actually called Paul's, but we called it Dirty Dan's because I think the chef, his name was Dan, and he was definitely dirty. Dirty Dan's, $99, and you got yourself egg, toast, and a little bit of home fries. You want bacon?
This wasn't even a bar?
It was $1.99. This was after the bars closed. You stumbled your way in here. You got breakfast. 2 a.m., something like that. 99 cents.
I do see what people were saying, like, enjoy your college days, because that shit does fly by. I don't really think
I did
back to my college days. But I was
you were waking up early and playing soccer, hurting your knee, rehabbing.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone. If I go back, I would have went over to Europe and played.
You had opportunity to play soccer in Europe?
No, but I've thought about this recently.
No, you would just travel to Europe with a soccer ball and just kicking around.
There's always opportunities to play at that level. It would have been first league? I don't know. But I've been thinking about this a lot. And, some people say, like, what's success? It's happiness, fulfillment. And other people are like, well, it's pursuing your potential, right? Other people are like having a huge house or whatever. But really, if you want to pursue your potential, you've got to go to the place where you're going to really be tested. And looking back, I don't know what my true potential would be, but I know that I would get the true answer if I would have went to Europe and played versus trying to play college soccer where you only played part of the time. So, but that's been a little bit of fun stuff Andrew's been thinking about recently.
Valid. Definitely valid. I don't know what we do about that now. You got to stop looking backwards, man. Look forward.
You talked about college. It just got me to college.
Yeah, I talked about eating eggs while drunk, and you're talking about going and following your passion in Europe and go test yourself and live your potential. What?
Well,
you got go chase your potential from me eating drunken eggs? What's wrong with you?
We have a lot of our audience. A lot of them are your age, 35 to 45 to 55 to 65. But dude, we have some young guys, and we have guys from Penn State, from Jersey schools, and we do calls.
UConn,
dude, it's freaking sick. Like, what advice? What we talk, and it's a fun little back and forth. Because I haven't lived life. I don't know a ton, but I know a few things, and I like to impart that.
I don't know much either, and I'm not as good as I once was. How the years have gone.
All right, well, guys, a different episode. This is what happens when there's no NBA. So
it's late,
for the
too.
NBA.
We did this late.
Yeah.
It's a late episode. The day has kind of caught up to us a little bit, But you came on. We came on, and you asked me if I was like low energy. I ate too much or something. Am I low energy?
No, you're never low energy.
All right, good. I just
your low energy is high energy for everyone else.
I got to make sure. I bring the energy. Bring the action. Let's see. What else we got? Hockey, we're not going to talk about, although your Avalanche still looks just fine. What a massive prediction by you. Fantastic. When they win the cup, we're going to have to roll that video right back. Can't believe how
I'm really
dead
excited
on
for
you
this
were.
for this NBA series, man. I'm very excited. I don't know which way it's gonna go.
You don't want to give a prediction.
I don't know. I don't have a prediction because this is
No
what
one's gonna
sports are
hold you
about.
to it. Just do you
No,
have a
but
feel? Do you have a lean? Let's say
that's
I allowed you to bet again, right?
uh-huh.
Me, I give you permission because right now I've revoked your betting privilege. You cannot bet.
Right.
But let's say I
Okay.
give it back to you, and
Okay.
I'm going to give you the money, so you can't lose it. I'm just going to give you the money and say, Andrew, you watch the games, bro. Take this money and bet it on this team that's going to win the series. You have to bet it on one of those teams. Which team are you putting it on?
I'd probably
Wow.
take Celtics in game 1.
Oh, that's a cop-out. Game 1. Just the series.
Dude, I don't think you listened to me. We've done I learned from you. But
Wait.
what
I'm
I'm
going to show you how
saying,
easy this is. Ian, who wins the series? The Celtics or Warriors? Warriors. In how many games? 6. Why? Why?
Because Boston can beat teams that might be able to beat Golden State.
Right. Boston is not as good of a team as Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What's the matchup?
he's a Fortnite
Oh.
guy.
All the players are Stephen Curry and Jason Tatum. We all know.
Curry and Tatum sort of cancel each other out. Okay, what else?
And then we have there's 5 people.
Clay and Brown,
Clay,
they cancel each other out.
and then
Okay.
the other 2,
Uh-huh.
2 people have me.
They have no answer for Jordan Poole because you don't think Marcus Smart can keep up with him. See?
And the X
Dude,
Factor,
there you go.
Kevon Looney.
I mean, you get it from the kid. He's telling you.
You heard it
Al
here first.
Horford.
We love you, Luka Nation.
I mean, what else? Now, what do I say?
Yes.
The kid.
He has
the kid's
good
not,
genes. He's
The
brilliant.
kid. I gotta tell you, I don't know why you keep trying to put me on the spot and make predictions. It's ridiculous because I can't call this one, and I don't want to make a prediction. I don't want to bet on it. I don't know which way it's gonna go, but I just hope it's a good series. But I don't know why you want to make me make a prediction, man. It's ridiculous. I don't. You don't listen to me. Bye, Luka Nation.
Luka, we love you. SGC submissions, still accepting them. Consignments, look out next week on Whatnot is going to be a fun week for us. Cage, I hope you're ready.
So thank you all for listening to another episode of Lucas, Tigers, and Bronzo My. I wanted to tell you about a new service that we have starting as of today, and I'm really, really excited to bring it to you guys. So as a part of our partnership with SGC, we got 50 free submissions every single month, and many of you have taken advantage of that. And it's amazing that we could have the opportunity to 650 episodes, 675 episodes in, to go ahead and give back to our community. As people were sending those cards in, they asked, can we send 5, 10, 20 more cards to you guys? We'll pay for it, but we wanted them graded with SGC. You guys know SGC is turning cards around in 13 to 14 business days, have incredible customer service, and their secondary market values are going up day after day after day. And that's exciting for the hobby and exciting for the grading landscape. So we didn't want to just rush into it. We wanted to do it right. And what we did was I relocated here to Boca Raton, Florida. I opened up a P.O. box maybe 5 minutes away from SGC, and I will be hand delivering and hand picking up the cards. So you don't have to worry about anyone else touching your cards. It will be me, and I will update you every step of the way. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to personally pick up the cards from a P.O. box, prep them, new card saver, new penny sleeve, and deliver them to SGC every single Tuesday. Why Tuesday? Well, it lets the stragglers over the weekend come back through on Monday and gives me a day to prep, and it basically gives SGC the entire week to work on grading those cards. Once your cards pop, only then at the end of the process will you be paying for the service. It's $25 per card, simple as that, and the turnaround times have never been faster. We're hearing right now 13, 14, less than 20 business days. So there it is. 9170 Glades Road, number 135 is the P.O. Box in Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. 9170 Glades Road, number 135, Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. Of course, you could shoot me an email or shoot me a text anytime, and I'm always available. Many of you already have my email. It's iamandrewgoldberg@gmail.com. or my cell phone number, 215-519-9154. Reach out with any questions. I could walk you through the process. I've hopped on the call with quite a few of you, and I'm happy to do that. Love you, Luca Nation.